Hey guys, this is Jake. Good morning, good afternoon. It's the end of October here in Roseville, Greystones farm. Looking at Willow there, and today I'm making a video about Greystones farm, the horses, where they live, what they eat, what they do. And we might have some buddies hanging around here. There's Huck there with his frisbee, and Willow, she's sniffing around, and Curly should be around here somewhere. But here's the riding ring there. The horses go riding around, and sometimes they do jumps. They do dressage. Here's where the horses live sometimes, the barn. And the trailer, you can hold 2 horses. And there's the hay barn there, and we're putting up a shed for the round bales. So, enjoy the video. We'll go from horse to horse and we'll give a little story about each. Hope you enjoy the video. Take care. So there's Furley and the horse trailer. This is the tack room of the horse trailer. Put the saddles on those racks there. Some of the other padding and gear, and there's the ladder that we use to get up on the horse. Here's where the horses stay when we're taking them to our trips. Can hold 2 horses. And this divider here goes back and forth to separate the 2 horses, and we usually put hay up on that string there so that they can eat when they're going on their trip. There's the tractor, the front end loader. We scoop out manure and carry it to different places, and we mow the pastures with that big mowing deck there. Here's a hay shed I'm building for the round bales to keep the round bales dry during the winter. And here's our hay room. It's pretty empty at this point. Might only have about 20 bales left, and we'll be getting another 100 bales in a couple days. And here's a bag of the pine shavings we put in the hay stalls so that we can scoop up their poop, and it absorbs their pee. Now we'll go check out the barn. So this is the feed room here. We feed the horses breakfast and dinner, and we store our unopened bags here. And then we have 6 horses, so each horse gets its own different feeding regimen. Some horses get this grainy stuff with molasses. It's kind of sticky. And some horses get a mix of grain and oats, and looks like corn in there too. And for our horses Allie and Kane and Packer, we soak what's called beet pulp, and we soak that overnight, and it's wet at this point, but as you'll see, it starts out as these little pellets, and we soak them in water and they expand, and you want to soak it before you give it to them, otherwise it'll sorry for the noise, otherwise it'll expand in their stomachs, and that's not good. So this is the feed room, and now we'll go. Here's the wheelbarrow that we use to clean out the stalls each day. And here's the barn. It can hold 6 horses, and we usually put 2 horses in there when it gets hot or too cold. At night we put them in when it gets too cold, or in the day we put them in there when it gets too hot. And here's one of our barn cats, Groucho. And Huck's trying to get too close there. He's a really nice cat. He likes to be held, and he holds his own with the dogs, as you can see there. Here's Apricot. It's Maggie's cat. She's the sister of Groucho there. They're always trying to find places to hide and play. Speaking of hiding, I don't know if you can see that or not. It looks like some Army helicopters. It's not. Here we go. So we'll let Groucho find his way out of that wheelbarrow there. Looks like Apricot wants to join in the fun too. And Huck always keeps an eye on him. So this is where Packer sleeps. He stays. He's outside most of the time. You can see a photo there. And he likes to jump and he likes to run through the fields. He's a good jumper. He's about 6 years old. And the horses usually live to about their 30 or 35. So he eats out of this hay net here. He loves hay. He likes to drink water too. We usually have 2 buckets in here, but and we put his grain and food in this bucket here. A little bit sloppy. And you can see on the ground there we have paper shavings. Those are actually newspapers that we shredded up. Trying to be eco-friendly here. But each day we clean it. And this is Kiowa's stall here. And Tally. We have those fans. We'll take the fans down pretty soon. We only use those in the summertime. Keep the horses cool. There's Groucho again. He used to be a little bit grouchy when he was a kitten, but he's a really fun cat now. And here's the wash stall. So we have hot and cold water. You can mix together if you want. A pitchfork. Rubber pads, because the horses kind of walk around sometimes when they're in there. And waterproof walls. Here's where Snoopy stays at night now that it's getting colder. And there's Kane's stall. And here's the tack room where we keep all the horse gear. Some of our boarders keep their stuff here. Helmets and saddles. And kitten food. Where they take their naps. Here's a fridge. Keep some horse vaccines in there and sodas for anybody who wants it. Hershey Kisses. We're very successful here at Greystones. Lots of ribbons and awards. Here's our shoe fly system. It's a 100-gallon, 55-gallon tank, and it sprays some liquid out there to keep the flies away, because the flies love horses. Looks like they're hungry right now. Here's a daily log we keep. Kiowa's okay. Everybody's okay. Usually everybody's okay. Sometimes they get little cuts and we have to write about it in our log. Looks like Huck found a piece of rope. Okay, let's go see the horses. But before we do that, let's get some treats for them. These are little peppermint cookies. So we'll grab a few of those and give them to the horses. So before we look at the horses, we'll get another view of the ring here. And another ring there. It's actually a circle. We bring the horses in there to do lunging. We tie that. The trainer stands in the middle and with a lead, maybe like a 20-foot lead, tied to the horse, and the horses go round and round and round. They do that for exercise, or sometimes the horses have so much energy that they need to run around in the circles for a few minutes, so that we can ride them without having any problems. Here's where we put the horse manure. It's about a month's worth of horse manure. It's composting. Sometimes I have to get that tractor out and turn it so it will compost better. On cold days, a lot of steam comes up. You might hear that noise in the background. They're working on the bypass, which will be a road that will bypass around Rollsville, which should make it easier for traffic congestion in the town there. Fortunately, it might be near our farm, but we're thinking it's only going to be a little bit. So let's go see Tally and Kiowa. So this is Tally. She's a girl, or what we call a mare. Girl horses are called mares. She's a little pony. She's pretty athletic. She's about 20 years old. Gets a little feisty sometimes too. She's generally a good girl. And then Kiowa, she's also a girl, or a mare. She's a draft horse. She's pretty strong, as you can see, pretty big. She might smell my cookies, the cookies we got there. Let's see if we can see her. Yeah, you see her eye there? It's kind of discolored, light blue. Her other eyes were just a regular brown tint there. Both really friendly. You have to be careful on horses though too. The safest spot to be on a horse when they're standing still is right at their shoulder here. because they can't kick you with their legs, and they can't reach too far with their heads too. Sometimes they like to nibble on your arm. Let's give them a few cookies. And when you're giving them a cookie, you want to hold your hand flat and let them take the cookie. Looks like Tally wants one too. So they stay in this field here, this small field, about 2 acres. Looks like they want more cookies. So they feed out of these feed buckets here. We put that grain mixture that I showed you a few minutes ago. They come and they eat out of the bucket like this. And then they want more. They're always hungry. Here's where they drink water. And there's a hose in there because we're filling up the tank now. They drink a lot of water. They drink about maybe 10 gallons of water a day. And this is a 50-gallon bucket or tub here, so we generally feed. Sometimes during the summer we have to scrub it out too because there's algae that grows. This time of the year it's too cool. It doesn't really grow as much. Here's the fire pit. You can have a little campfire and roast some marshmallows. And there's the where the water comes out of the ground. Goes through that hose and finds its way to that bucket. So we'll say goodbye to Tally here and Kiowa. They generally follow each other around during the day and eat grass and make fun of the boys, who we'll see next. This is where the boy horses stay. Boy horses are called geldings. Once they've lost some of their parts, they're called geldings, but before that they're called stallions. These are all thoroughbred horses. Here's Packer, he's trying to get some of the cookies that I brought. But they're thoroughbred horses, and Packer raced for a little bit on he ran in around 20 races up in Vermont. His race name is Avec Plaisir, with pleasure in French. So we better give him some of these cookies. Packer likes cookies. So there are 3 other horses over there. There's Allie on the left, Kane on the right, and then Snoopy on the far right there. We'll let them come over here instead of walking. But like with Tally and Allie, each of them has their own their own food bucket. That's where Packer eats. And Kane eats out of that bucket. It's one of the biggest buckets. He's pretty sloppy with his food, so we need a bigger bucket. And then Allie, he eats over there in his own little room. There's a little pasture. Whoop. We'll make him stay if we can. Packer's one of our newest horses. He's about 16 hands, give or take. May 15. And he ran in a hunter race yesterday. Halloween hunter race. He was dressed up as Pac-Man. They have their own water bucket. We have some smaller, what we call paddocks, where we can keep them if they get injured or sick, or we just want to keep them separated from the other horses. Here's Packer. Let's see if we can see his teeth. They'll show us. There are his feet. Here's a horse shelter. Then I put a new roof on there. They go in there to get some shade or stay dry when there's a storm coming, when they're not in the barn. So here, Allie's on the left and Kane's on the right. They're both really good buddies. They hang out all day, side by side, inseparable. And they play and they buck and they chew at each other's neck when they're playing. And they have a good time. Allie has to wear a cribbing strap because he'll crib, which is he'll put his front jaw on a post and just tear things apart. So that strap there keeps him from doing that. But he can still breathe, he can still eat and play. You can see the dirt on their back. They like to roll around in the dirt, especially after they take a shower and they're all wet. It keeps the flies off the dirt. And Allie likes to kind of nudge Kane along there, tell him where to go. You can see him. Kind of bun him with his head. And here's Snoopy. He's our oldest horse. He's also a boy. He's wearing a cribbing strap, as you can see. He must smell the cookies too. Packer must have given up on his cookie conquest. He likes to stay in the shade and cool off sometimes when it gets warm outside. Not much shade over there though. Well, we should give some cookies to these horses for being good boys. We'll give some to Kane here. And Allie. And we'll give some cookies to Snoopy. Looks like Packer wants to go inside, so That's it for the Greystones farm video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we covered all the topics you want to see. Added some more color to some of your stories. And we'll make some more videos in the future. Take care, guys.